Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Today we are going to discuss a story from Prabhupada Lilamritha written by Saswarup Das Goswami. The story name is Prabhupada Tells a Story. One of Srila Prabhupada's sannyasi disciples had gradually drifted away, stopped strictly following the principles, allowed his hair to grow back and stopped wearing a dhoti. Despite these changes, the devotee still fancied that he could be a spiritual leader. When he came to visit Srila Prabhupada in Melbourne, Australia, however, Prabhupada told him he would never succeed unless he followed the standard practice. To illustrate this, Prabhupada told a story. A servant of a very rich man came before his master one day and told him of an interesting yogi he had seen in the river. The servant said that this yogi claimed he could stay in the cold water of the river all night in the middle of winter without any outside heat. The yogi was willing to wager with anyone to prove that he could do it. When the rich man heard this, he decided to wager against the yogi. So the bet was made to see whether the yogi could stay in the water all night. The yogi went into the water and the rich man and his servant went home. The next day the word came that the yogi had successfully stayed in the water all night. The rich man went out to see the yogi, and indeed he was still standing in the water. Therefore, by all rights, the rich man had lost the wager. Then a friend of the rich man said, "Wait, see that light." He pointed to a small flame far away in the tower of a temple. The rich man's friend said, "By his mystic power, this yogi has been using the heat of that light to keep warm in the water, so he shouldn't be paid, because the bet was that he would stay in the water without taking any heat." Taking advantage of this word jugglery, the rich man said, "Yes, I am not going to pay you. You have tricked me." Then the rich man and his servant went back to their house. The rich man asked his servant to quickly cook him a nice breakfast. But after waiting for some time, the servant had not produced anything. The rich man expressed his impatience, but the servant replied, "Please wait, I am cooking." The rich man waited, but it got later and later, and no food was brought. When he demanded from the servant only replied, "I am cooking, it's going to be ready soon." Finally, the rich man became angry and walked into the kitchen. "What is this cooking?" he demanded. And there he saw that the servant had a very strange arrangement for cooking. He had a very small fire on the ground and a tall bamboo tripod to hold the pot he was supposed to heat high by the ceiling. Obviously, the small flame would never be able to reach the pot to heat it. "What do you think you are doing?" demanded the rich man. "Well," said the servant, "if you claim that the yogi was keeping warm in the water by that light, then I am also cooking." The man could understand that his servant was dissatisfied with the outcome of his wager with the yogi, so he went and paid the yogi the wager. When Prabhupada told this story, the devotees kept waiting for a punchline or further conclusion. It didn't seem very obvious. Then Prabhupada explained it. If you want to cook, then you have to cook according to the method. You may have a pot and you may have a flame, but if you don't cook according to the method, then you will never get the food. It will never work. So he may be chanting Hare Krishna. And now Prabhupada looked to his fallen sannyasi disciple. "But if you are not following the process, then what good is your chanting? If you want to get the result, you have to follow the method."